Konnichiwa, bonjour, hello, I'm Amika, your host for JPOP TV. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. Today, I'll be talking about my trip to Okanagan. Going to Okanagan was definitely the highlight of my whole summer. The first place we stopped by was the farmer's market, where they had plums, cherries, strawberries, blackberries, and more. This year, the fruit stands are less in volume, as the crops were not as successful this year. This farmer's market had a beautiful backyard with a huge field and nice lights. After checking into our hotel, we quickly headed out to Pebble Beach to go in the water and play some sports. The water was beautiful, and there was a huge beach volleyball net. My brother and I had lots of fun throwing the football and frisbee on the green grass. Something that made my whole family laugh was when we used our deflated huge beach volleyball and attempted to play with it over the volleyball net. My brother and I laughed lots at our failure to keep it in the air. For dinner, we went to a delicious Vietnamese restaurant called Bamboo Chopsticks, which had the best Vietnamese food I have ever tasted. I got noodles with a prawn stick, beef, and vegetables. It was super yummy, and the portion size was huge. Of course, I was still hungry, so my whole family treated themselves to a tub of Ben & Jerry's, which we ate around the fire pit outside of our hotel. The next day, we challenged ourselves to a huge hike on Pincushion Mountain. This was a very extreme hike for us that had us slipping and sliding everywhere on the rocks and dirt. The view at the top with the Canada flag and the huge mountains and scenery made it all worth it. I would recommend bringing hiking shoes and going with a couple of people when doing this hike. It's way more intense than the internet says for sure. After this, we hung out in Peachland while laying beside the beautiful blue water, paddleboarding and playing football and frisbee in the water at Hot Sands Beach. After our intense hike, we decided to do a small leisurely hike at Hardy Falls Regional Park, which I recommend everyone's family try out. It's barely 10 minutes to see a small, pretty waterfall at the end. Later that night, we ordered lots of pizza from Domino's, as it was walking distance from our hotel. The next day, we went on a hike at the Bellevue Trestles, which was super rocky to get to by car. The whole drive up was super bumpy, and it felt like a small roller coaster ride. We ended up scratching our car at one point on the branches, so I definitely recommend driving slow and steady. The trestles were beautiful and the bridges were humongous. Many people rent a bike so they can see all 18 of them, which I recommend much more than walking. After, we went to City Park, where there were basketball courts, beach volleyball, and so much more. For our last day, we decided to have a huge barbecue where my dad made steaks, corn, garlic bread, and more. It was nice for our hotel to provide supplies and cutlery. The next day, before we headed home, we visited different wineries. First, we went to Mission Hills Winery, where they had super cool statues everywhere and beautiful decorations. My favorite display was the corner with all the designer bags, such as Louis Vuitton and Prada items. Other displays included a pink-themed area and a watermelon-themed area. After that winery, our final stop was Friend Winery, which was beautiful inside and out. It had a huge backyard with a water view and lots of chairs. They also had a bakery where I bought a nice, yummy cinnamon bun that I shared with my brother. Overall, this trip was super fun, and we got to do lots of hiking and created more memories as a family. Thank you for watching JPOP TV. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, please email me at amika@jpoptv.com.